last few weeks of school, the only person that I was hanging out with was Jada. And that wasn't even while I was in school. And when school finally ended, my parents thankfully sent me to go spend the summer with my aunt and uncle and my cousins and my brother as well. Like, my brother was literally so fucking lucky because he got to live with our cousins. And all four of us together, we were fucking crazy. Like, we had that relationship with our cousins where, like, they were our best friends and we didn't really need anybody else because us four in a group was, like, perfect. And I think this is partially another reason why I didn't care about boys, either because I was always hanging out with my cousins. Not only that, but I was around boys because I was always playing sports or doing some sort of crazy shit, like building forts, you know, everything, fishing, stuff like that. You know, I totally feel this because when I was younger, my grandma's house was like the spot to be if you were a kid in my family. Like, I have 13 cousins, more now, but like at that time I had 13 cousins, and when we would all show up at my grandma's house for a sleepover, child, shit got fucking crazy. Like, I know my grandma always said that she loves kids, but I do not know how she dealt with 13 of us. Like, we would be bouncing off the fucking walls and everything. Not to mention, this is whenever like we were just grew out of being like a toddler. Anyways, back to the story. So throughout that whole summer, per usual, I was doing crazy shit with my cousin Natalie, and Natalie was a year older than I was, but you know, she introduced me to a bunch of her friends, and all of her friends were way older than both of us. Like, I had just turned 14 and she was 15, and her friends that we were hanging out with, they were like 16, 17 years old. But you know, they were taking us to parties. We were hanging out with them until like 4 in the morning, racing in cars and stuff. Like, we were having a fun ass time. And then I even met this boy who we're gonna call James. And James and I hung out like every day for the last 3 weeks of summer. And my parents knew that I was having such a good time down there with everybody that they asked me if I wanted to transfer down there and just stay with my aunt and uncle until they found a way to move closer to my brother and I. And at that time, it wasn't even a question of whether I wanted to transfer or not, because I knew that I did not want to have to deal with all the bullshit that was going on in school. Like, I do not care what my mom said before about how, you know, it'll die down. I felt like that shit was gonna last forever. Anyway, so like I said, I pretty much had my mind made up until something very, 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 very unexpected happens. So all summer, I had been posting pictures of Natalie and I and all the fun things that we were doing, and I hadn't heard from Emily, Maddie, or Mackenzie until I posted an Instagram picture, and on the first slide, it was a picture of me, and then on the second one, it was a picture of me on my brother's back at the beach. And then the third one was a picture of Natalie and I hugging at the beach. And the caption was like, best summer ever, with a blushing emoji. Obviously, I had never thought anything of this post until Emily, Kenzie, and Maddie are blowing my phone the fuck up. And when I say blowing up my phone, I mean they're calling me religiously, texting me, DMing me, Snapchatting me, and everything. And I didn't see any of this until I woke up the next day because I had posted this at like 10 o'clock at night, right before I went to sleep. So when I wake up and see these messages, I'm seeing, OMG, is that your boyfriend? How long have you two been dating? Where's he from? Does he go to our school? I can't believe you didn't tell us about this. You need to call us ASAP. And I didn't respond to this because I didn't know what to say. I know you guys are sitting here thinking, bitch, what the fuck do you mean you don't know what to say? That is your brother. Of course you're going to say, no, that is not my boyfriend. That is my brother. I get that. I really do. But at the same time,
No, brother, I appreciate you. It sounds like a new opportunity.
I don't know why. I feel like I wanted to impress these girls, to be honest. Like, I feel like I had something to prove to them because of all the shit that had happened. Like, even though I literally could have just switched schools and been around people that actually like me for me and accept me for the way that I am, and not to mention I possibly could have had a boyfriend that actually likes me and who I actually like, and that I'm not just dating to impress my friends. But instead, I let others' opinions get the best of me. And I ended up telling them that my brother was my boyfriend.
No.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Okay, judge me all you want. I know. Anyway, so, you know, I text them and I tell them, oh, I'll tell you all about it when I get home. And so, of course, I end up telling my parents that I'm gonna be staying home and I'm gonna be finishing school with them instead of moving down to Florida. And they were super fucking shocked. They were like, are you sure? Because you are not about to be doing this back and forth shit during the year. Like, they even told me if I wanted, I could take off the first week of school to think about it. But of course, I said no. So fast forward, I go home, I have a sleepover with Kenzie, Maddie, and Emily, and all the girls thought that I was so cool. 1, because I had a boyfriend. 2, because I was dating somebody who was older than all of us. And 3, it was like an actual relationship.
Not just one of those, oh my god, I love you, babe. Oh my god, I love you too. Oh my god, happy 1 day anniversary, babe.
No, none of that shit. This relationship was serious as fuck. Like, they thought that I was so special. They started asking me for dating advice and asking me what they need to do to be in a relationship like me. It was low-key crazy. But yeah, I made up a fake persona for my brother, known as my boyfriend. I kept his name the same because nobody knew my brother. Because remember I said earlier, I moved here without him. At the same time that I moved here, he moved to Florida. Also, I never talked about my brother. Nobody did. So nobody even knew that I had a brother. But yeah, it also helped that my brother didn't have any socials. Like his Instagram had no profile picture, no pictures, and it was his last name underscore his jersey number. Like this plan couldn't have been more perfect. But yeah, the only thing that they knew about him was that his name was Micah and he was 16 years old and he played football and he lived in Florida. But the whole backstory on Micah and I was like, we had been best friends since we were babies because our parents were best friends. So I would show them baby pictures of us because like it just made the story more believable. Honestly, like they were so fucking gullible. Like the fact that they fell for it is their fault, not mine. Anyways, so yeah, you know, I would show them these pictures and I would be like, yeah, our parents have been wanting us to get together for so long. Like they always said that him and I were gonna end up marrying one another. So we finally decided to give it a chance. And yeah, that was the story. I was so happy because I felt like I didn't have to worry about bullshit anymore. You know, they would stop asking me because they thought that I had a boyfriend. And everybody, even everybody in school thought that I was like in the most perfect relationship. They thought we had such a cliche love story. And it literally was. Because it was fucking fake. Like I literally pulled that shit out of my ass. Sorry, not sorry. I mean, of course people would get suspicious now and then. You know, they would be like, oh my god, like you guys barely talk. Like, are you sure he still likes you? And I would be like, guys, listen. He's in high school and he plays football. He's super busy. Plus, we FaceTime every single night. Like he always makes time for me. So yeah, during this time, I am 14, I'm in 8th grade, and the only one who knew the truth about this was Jada. Yeah, she was the only one who knew the truth about this little lie because her mom knew my mom and she knew what my brother looked like. But Jada thought that it was funny until I low-key ended up ghosting her. It wasn't really on purpose either, to be honest. It was just that Kenzie, Emily, and Maddie wanted to start hanging out with me more, so I started hanging out with them. And I kind of forgot about Jada because we all went to the same school, so it was easier for us to hang out. Besides, I didn't know that she felt like that until the one day she texted me and she was like, hey, I'm not gonna lie, it really hurts my feelings that you don't talk to me anymore. I feel like you just use me whenever you don't have friends, and then when people actually want to be your friend, or quote, be your friend, you just toss me away and don't ever talk to me. So until you can appreciate me and our friendship, please don't talk to me. Super mature. Like, Persis, go off. Anyways, I think I made it worse when I didn't respond to her message. Like, my thought process was I'll just leave it alone instead of apologizing. Well, actually, that's a lie. I didn't apologize. Instead, I followed up with, well, I may or may not have begged her not to tell anybody about Micah being my brother. But she ended up never responding to that text message. So I decided that that was it. I had to end this fake relationship, okay? Just stop while I'm ahead and then I'll be good. Besides, I hated lying. And if I would have got caught, sure, lying is one thing, but lying and saying that my brother was my boyfriend, yikes. That would not have gone over well. Definitely not. So I had this whole plan on how I was gonna do it, okay? I was just gonna send the group chat a screenshot of me breaking up with him, you know, easy peasy lemon squeezy, never gotta deal with it again. Until the one night, we're at Maddie's house, and all of a sudden, Kenzie goes, guys, my brother told me something that apparently no other girls know. Like a secret that the boys don't want us to know. And all of us are like, oh my god, what is it? Like, what is this news? And she goes, apparently, if you and your boyfriend have been together for this long and you guys haven't done the nasty and he's not asking you to do the nasty, it means that he doesn't actually like you and he's probably doing it with another girl. And then she points at me and she's like, I bet you Micah's cheating on you. And I'm like, no, he would never do that. Like, I know my fake boyfriend so well. He would never fucking do that, Kenzie. God. And then she goes, yeah, you're only saying that because it's your boyfriend and you don't want to believe it. And I'm like, no, actually, it's because we do it every time we see each other. And oh my goodness, the look on all their faces, they all gasped. Like they look like they were gonna have a fucking stroke. They're like, oh, you do? And they're like, oh my god, you never told us that. Like, OMG, you're totally lying. And I'm like, no guys, I just don't like to spread information about my relationship. Like, I don't kiss and tell, which is fucking hilarious because literally the only boy that I had ever kissed, I told everybody about to prove that I was not gay. And this was also even less believable because like, even that boy James that I was hanging out with during the summer, him and I never even kissed. We never even held hands. Like, I was totally lying so hard right now. Anyway, so yeah, I'm like, no, we do it all the time. Like anytime we see each other actually. And we sometimes even do it over the phone. And then Emily goes, oh my god, that is crazy. Guys, I don't think she's lying because think about it. She didn't even text us whenever they first started dating. Like, yeah, no, I kept that a secret. See, believe Emily, believe me, believe Emily, like the fuck. But then just when I think I'm off the hook, Kenzie goes, I don't know, I still don't believe her because doing the nasty is something totally different than being in just a relationship. That's like the next level. Like, Kenzie, fuck off, please. Like, actually, go crawl in a hole and die. So then I was like, okay, well, I'll prove it to you guys after Christmas break, which I had no idea how I was gonna do this. Like, I honestly thought that this might be the time for me to tell my mom that I want to transfer schools, but it bought me a little bit of extra time just in case I found a way to do it without going to the extreme. So during Christmas break, we're all texting the group chat, and of course they're all obsessed with the fact that I'm gonna be proving that my boyfriend and I do the nasty, which to be honest, I should have just said that Kenzie was right and that he was cheating on me just to end this whole thing. But I wanted to prove to them that a guy could like me and only like me and he didn't need to cheat on me because there have been rumors before that my boyfriend was cheating on me, started by yours truly, Emily, Kenzie, and Maddie because they were like, you know, the older boys like experienced girls. Anyway, so like I said, it's Christmas break and my family and I are in Florida visiting my aunt, uncle, brother, and cousins. And my brother has a girlfriend at this time, okay? They've been dating for probably like 3 or 4 months now. So she was invited over the house for Christmas dinner. And later on that night, after we were all done eating, we go to my brother's room. So that way we can play some video games and watch some movies. And I'm sitting on the floor next to my cousins while we're all playing the PlayStation. And I look over to the trash can next to me and I see that there are condom wrappers in there. Open condom wrappers. You guys get where I'm going with this? They were mixed in with used condoms. So in my fucked up head, I'm like, this is perfect. I hurry up, snag it. So then I text the group chat and I'm like, just got done guys, with like that one like hair flip emoji. And then Emily and Maddie text the group chat and they're like, oh my gosh, you're so crazy. And I'm like, yeah, I know guys, like we've been on that, like next please. So you know, I put my phone down, enjoyed the rest of my night with my cousins, and then like an hour later I get another text in the group chat from Kenzie. And it says, come on guys, like that could literally just be a wrapper from anybody else. I need more proof than that, with the yawning emoji. And I'm like ready to choke Kenzie because can you just leave me the fuck alone? Like let me live. But no, of course not. Wants to be a nosy bitch. Anyways, so then I have this idea, okay? We all had a sleepover in my cousin JJ's room because his room was in the basement and it was bigger. All of us could fit down there. So while everybody was sleeping, I went and dug into the garbage and grabbed a used contraception? Yeah, I think that's how you pronounce it. And I'm not talking about the outside packaging. No, I'm talking about the actual thing. Yeah, I grabbed that. And then I hold it up in front of Micah, take a picture, and then I send that shit into the group chat. After that, I felt completed. I felt like I had just turned in an overdue assignment that had been due for like months. And then after that, I was so disgusted, I went to the bathroom and literally pretty much scrubbed the fucking skin off of my hands. And then, you know, everybody in the group chat is going psychotic. Even Kenzie. Yes. Kenzie goes, OMG, TMI, don't send anything else, please. Acting like she wasn't the one who asked for proof. Like, girl, bye. So fast forward to February, I finally told them that him and I broke up because our schedules were too crazy, and I told him that there might be boys in high school that I like more than him, so I just wanted to go into high school being single. And the girls thought that I was the biggest player ever. They're like, OMG, you broke his heart? And I'm like, yeah, I did that. Like, they thought I was so fucking cool because I didn't need a man and I was not afraid to throw away the perfect relationship to go find somebody new. So the rest of the year was pretty good, you know. I didn't have to worry about any of that bullshit anymore. I was like the coolest girl in school because I did the nasty, which meant that I was technically a woman. And I also had my first big girl relationship. Like if anything, Kenzie, Maddie, and Emily were trying to keep up with me now. Not to mention I broke a guy's heart who was older than me and who plays football and who everybody thought was super hot, which was disgusting because my brother looks like a fucking troll. But whatevs. So that summer, I decided not to go see my cousins. I spent it with Maddie, Emily, and Kenzie because now we were all hanging out with all the high school kids since we were about to go into high school. We started going to parties because Emily's older sister was gonna be going into her sophomore year. So she was already in high school and she kind of was just like introducing us to everybody. And I guess it's like a rite of passage to be popular if your sibling was also popular in school. So, you know, I had summer flings with 2 boys, one whose name was Roberto and the other one with a guy named Terry. Except the lie about me dating my brother kind of backfired in my face because neither of these boys wanted to be in a relationship with me. They thought that I was like the biggest hoe because of that picture that I sent in the group chat. You know, the picture of me holding the contraception up in front of my brother. Yeah, that one. And the worst part is these boys were in our grade. At this point, I was just tired of boys in general. But no, literally my whole group of friends started like turning things into competitions, especially when it came to boys. So whenever they all heard that I liked Roberto and they heard that he liked me, they were like, oh my goodness, but she already did the nasty. Yeah, she did. With like 5 people. But then again, that could also be karma because Maddie did like Roberto first and we all told him that she may or may not have did some stuff with some kids behind the bleachers in middle school, which she did, but he did not need to know that. And I feel bad because she was only doing that because she felt like she had to keep up with me. Anyways, fast forward to my freshman year in high school, okay? I'm now 15 years old and just a week before school started, I find out that my brother is coming home because he ended up getting hurt really badly over the summer and my mom has low-key always been against him playing football because of how dangerous of a game it is. So this was the perfect time for her to make the executive decision for Micah to come home and recover from his, quote, injuries. And then after he felt better, they were going to decide what they should do from there. So now him and I were going to be in the same school, but I didn't see this as that much of a big deal, to be honest, because I had thought that everybody already forgot about the situation. You know, like so much shit happened over the summer. Like there was way too much to talk about than that. Also, him and I had been, quote, broken up for such a long time now. But of course, as soon as you step through those fucking doors, everybody all of a sudden knows everybody's business, and everything is laid out on a buffet table for everybody to nitpick at. So I didn't want anybody seeing my brother and I together. I didn't even ride with him. He was able to drive to school at this time. I did not want to be in the car with him. Nothing. Did not want to create any sort of suspicion whatsoever. So, you know, first and second period were good, and then fast forward to third period, the teacher was calling attendance, you know, the usual, and then she looks at me and she's like, hey, I just had your brother last period. And Emily looks at me and she's like, I didn't know you had a brother. And I look at her and I'm like, I don't. And the teacher was like, Micah Hertz, that's not your brother. And Emily goes, oh my god, no, that's her ex-boyfriend. Oh my god. And I'm trying to act as shocked as she is, but in my head I secretly want to off myself so badly. And the teacher's just like staring at me like with the most confused face I've ever seen, and disgusted face. She's like, okay, maybe I have the wrong person. And my brother and I didn't have the same last name, but he always got along with the teachers. The teachers absolutely adored my brother. And also I was supposed to be in his class with this teacher, but I ended up switching out because I wanted to be with my friend Emily. But at this point I am blowing up my mom and dad's phone. I'm telling them I feel sick, I need them to come get me. Like, I cannot do this today. And then all of a sudden 20 minutes later, I get a text message from my brother saying, hey, mom and dad said that you're not feeling well, so I'm gonna come and talk to you. Like, I'm gonna come grab you from class and so we can talk. And then I'm texting him, no, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. And of course he doesn't have his phone on him. So Micah shows up to my class, he comes in and then he goes and talks to the teacher and he points at me, and I hurry up and put my head down real quick. Like, I'm like, no, I don't wanna deal with this. I don't wanna deal with this. No, 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 no. I'm done. Like, sis, and that's whenever Emily starts elbowing me in the ribs and she's like, oh my gosh, look, it's Micah, it's Micah, it's Micah. And I look up and I'm like, oh my gosh, what is he doing here? And the teacher looks at me and she's like, yeah, you two can go talk in the hallway. And that's when I look at her and I like shake my head no. And I'm like, Like, I'm giving her the face of, please tell him to go the fuck away. And then you, please stop asking fucking questions and just shut the fuck up and teach your class. And then she's like, okay, I guess she doesn't want to go. But you know, if you're not feeling well, Micah can always come back and grab you. And then my brother looks at me and he mouths to me, are you okay? And y'all, I swear to God, in that moment, I developed a fever. I felt like I needed to puke. I felt like I needed to crawl into a hole and die. All of the above. But finally, after what feels like years, he walks out of the classroom, or he goes to walk out, and then Kenzie Jr., aka the teacher, always asking fucking questions, goes, wait, so are you two siblings or not? And he goes, yeah, that's my sister. And I just sit there because I don't know what to do. I'm like, like, I felt like I was going to explode. So then she's like, okay, I thought so. And then he walks out of the class, and then I quickly glance over at Emily, and I felt like everybody's eyes piercing through my soul. Not everybody's, but like the kids who knew me. Yeah, I was in trouble. Emily starts slowly scooting her chair away from me. And then after school that day, I'm getting text messages in the group chat saying, oh my god, you were so disgusting. The fact that you would do it with your brother. So then what does my dumb ass try to do? I try to lie myself out of another situation that I got into by lying. Which I literally just should have stopped there, because lying is what got me into this whole fucking mess in the first place. So then I start saying that the only reason why he said that was because he was afraid of getting in trouble for dating somebody younger than him. But obviously, as much as I wanted to believe these girls were dumb and gullible, they weren't. And none of them believed me anyways. So then of course, once again, I'm the main character in school. Everybody's talking about it. You know those kids who love to post drama on like their Snapchat stories and stuff? Like, the only reason why you have them on Snapchat or you watch their Snapchat stories is to see what the tea is. Yeah, well, everybody was posting me on those, and they were all saying how my brother was a pedo, and you know, they're posting screenshots of the picture that I sent into the group chat, and then surprise, surprise, the teachers call my parents, and they say that they need to have a meeting. While we were there, they said that they just wanted to make sure that nothing was going on, it's, you know, at home. Yeah. Because a lot of parents apparently called them concerned. And that's when I had to explain in front of everybody what was going on. My parents, my brother, some of the teachers, yeah. After this, things were kind of awkward, and my family was super disappointed in me. Nobody in school wanted to talk to me. My brother had friends, but they would all tell him how much of a weirdo I was. And eventually, I think like 4 months later, he ended up moving back to Florida. He didn't talk to me for a while, which was understandable. And then my parents, they wouldn't let me switch schools. And for a while there, I didn't have friends. I tried talking to Jada, but she never responded to any of my text messages, which is understandable. Like, I don't blame her. I put her on the back burner whenever Emily, Kenzie, and Maddie finally wanted to be my friends again. But 2 years later, I finally have some friends in high school, ones that are real friends and like me for me, and not because of what's going on in my life. And that rumor that's not really a rumor, because I low-key did date my brother. Anyways, besides the point, the chaos of that situation kind of blew over. Nobody talks about it anymore, literally. Like, the only people that talk about it are people who don't know me, and people are like gossiping about me to them. And now that my brother and I are older and my family's gotten over that whole situation that I caused, we all just sort of laugh about it now. Moral of the story, lying will always bite you in the ass, always. Yeah. Okay, everybody, that is the end of today's story time.